And joining us now from the Bay State is Zara Raezer. She's a tour guide with the Freedom Trail Foundation right there in Boston. Now, Zara, Boston Commons is the oldest park in America, founded in 1634. It's actually over 140 years older than this country. So what is the history of that park, and what are the more interesting anecdotes from history you can tell our guests right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So Boston Common was established in 1634. It is the oldest public park in the United States. And I really like to think about it as a true embodiment of the First Amendment. On any given day of the week, you're likely to see political protesters, people handing out religious pamphlets. Then, of course, people just, enjoying the park, walking their dog. And of course, we have over 4 million visitors walk the Freedom Trail every single year. Boston Common is the first spot on the Freedom Trail. So I think that history really starts early on because in 1634, whenever the Puritans established Boston Common as a common land, it was actually used for grazing. It was kind of a working space. Essentially, Puritan families in Boston were allowed to bring one cow and six sheep to graze on the pastures. Now, during the Puritan times, it kind of has a little bit more of a bloody history, if you will. This was a place for punishment. So the Puritans are known for being pretty severe people. And so Boston Common included a whipping post, a pillory, and even the great elm tree. And the great elm tree is historically known, kind of by local legend, as being the place where we hung undesirables on Boston Common. So that's going to include people who are, considered common criminals. Like thieves and murderers, but then also even people who would consider innocent today, people like Goody Ann Glover, who was charged with witchcraft and hung in 1688, or even Mary Dyer, who was martyred for her Quaker beliefs on Boston Common. As you get into the 18th century, this really becomes a place where our founding fathers were starting to really plan and think about what is going to become the American Revolutionary War. And one founding father who has just an absolutely intractable impact on the park is John Hancock. So John Hancock, of course, is known for his giant signature on the Declaration of Independence, but actually his mansion was just north of the park over in Beacon Hill, the most fabulously wealthy neighborhood in Massachusetts even to this day. And he's the one who puts up the funds to build a bandstand. And even after the repeal of the Stamp Act in 1765, he sends a case of fireworks and over 200 casks of wine for the colonists to enjoy. Boston Common was also occupied by British forces as early as 1768, and they're not going to leave until evacuation day, which is March 17th of 1776 here in Boston. So all of that early colonial history is really exciting, but as you go into the 19th and 20th century, we see this as a place where people are holding protests and making their opinions known. So we even see, of course, the Union Army is going to recruit for the American Civil War on Boston Common. And absolutely.
All right,
And even later, we even are going to see. Mhm.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. Tell us what else we're going to see later real quick, Sarah.
Oh, no, no, I was just going to say, no, of course. And so even going into the 20th century, we're going to see Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Give a speech to over 400,000 listeners, calling for an end of de facto segregation in the North. And that really would have been a special place for him because Dr. King, it was in Boston where he became a doctor, and it was where he met his wife Coretta, and they were known for taking long walks on Boston Common. So it's a gem in our city.
Zara Raezer, I cannot thank you enough for all of that Massachusetts information. Thank you so much.